I've always loved the saying, your direction matters more than your speed. To me, it means that it doesn't matter how quickly you're moving if you're traveling in the wrong direction. It will be more beneficial to you in the long run if you slow down and intentionally find what that right direction is and then move steadily ahead. The first quarter of the year is over, and I'm feeling pulled to reflect on what I'd hoped to accomplish this year and to ensure that I'm moving in the right direction. These first 3 months, I did a lot of work in realigning my daily habits away from hustling and toward intentional steps for a bigger future. I want to encourage you all to make sure you're not just going through the motions of life and letting speed take over. Take the time to remind yourself what truly matters to you and make sure your daily life is sending you in that direction. Hello everyone, and welcome back to a brand new vlog. First quarter of the year is over. It's currently April 3rd. So I've been thinking a lot about my goals for the year and kind of how the first 3 months of the year have been going, and just kind of want to get back on track and realigned with the goals that I had set for myself for 2023. I had some big ones and I was doing pretty well with them for a while, but then a few things came up that pretty much meant I was working a lot more than I wanted to and on things that I didn't really care about as much, or that didn't really align with the goals that I had for myself. I'm not fully out of the woods with all of that stuff yet, but I do have a little bit more of my time back. I'm just excited to kind of go back to my goals and what I had hoped to do for the year and get realigned with them, get back on track, and just make sure that my daily habits are still lining up with the things that I want to accomplish. So I'm going to take you all through a few days with me kind of getting back on track. The first thing I wanted to do was actually go back and look at the goals that I set for myself at the beginning of the year. I always kind of have them in the back of my mind, but I want to remind myself more specifically. This is my giant page of intentions for the new year that I wrote in January. So the first one was to reach 25K on TikTok and monetize, like work with more brands essentially. On that front, to be honest, I haven't made a ton of progress. This goal is based on more rapid growth that I was seeing at a different time, and it's not really like that anymore. So not expecting to hit this goal. I might edit it, maybe bring it down to 20 instead of 25. And then in terms of brand deals, I have worked with a couple of brands this year, but not as much as I would like to. This is one of the things that if I had more time, I could do more active outreach myself to brands that I want to work with instead of just waiting for people to come to me. This is an area that I think I could definitely do better in. The next one is to post on YouTube twice a month. This is another one that I wish I was doing a little bit better with. YouTube videos obviously take a long time to make and to edit, so when I don't have time, that's definitely one of the things that falls by the wayside. And I'm also such a perfectionist, like I want every video to be perfect, so I just need to get out of my head about that a little bit and put stuff out there, even if it's not 100% perfection every single time. But I am vlogging right now, so we're doing good with that. The next one was to scale my freelance business and expand my client funnels. And that specifically, underneath that, I had written down that I need to do a full overhaul of my personal website and start a blog with SEO for an organic client funnel to my business. And that is in the works. I am redesigning my website. I'm working with a company called Visuable, who is completely overhauling my website, building SEO into the root of the website so that it will rank higher on Google searches. I have the blog getting set up with them. I did a whole brand photo shoot with a great photographer, so I have all new photos of myself, photos for my brand. So that one is in the works and we're doing really well. I also have worked with a few more clients this year who are not on freelancing marketplaces, who have found me in other ways. So that's a huge step in the right direction as well. The next one was establishing passive income sources. So that's things like doing like an Amazon storefront or Like to Know It, or having products like guides or ebooks or courses or whatever that become passive income. I have made some progress on this. I started an Amazon storefront but haven't posted it anywhere, so I need to do that. I actually did finish writing my first full ebook guide, which is to help poets get their work published. So that will be launched in combination with my website redesign when that is ready, which will be in a few weeks, hopefully. And then I have kind of in my mind, in the works, I want to do another ebook about how to become a freelance book editor. So that's the next thing that I will be writing and hopefully selling at some point this year. Next one was staying consistent with movement and exercise. This one I've been doing great with. I train very intuitively and I don't push myself to like go to the gym 6 days a week. I have my dance rehearsals every week. I try to go to the gym to lift twice a week, and then in between that I do some cycling and yoga workouts. And yeah, I would say I'm pretty on point with that one. I've been doing super well with that. The next one was to read more books outside of my book editing business. So read things that I actually want to read and enjoy. I started the year off so strong with this and got through like 2 or 3 books in January and then totally fell off when all my work stuff went crazy. I started The Artist's Way, which is a book, but it's also structured as a 12-week course. And I did 4 weeks of the course at the beginning of the year and then completely dropped off. My husband and I went to Miami and I did read a book of poetry while we were hanging out on the beach. So that counts, I suppose. But other than that, I really need to get back on track with reading for myself, not for my business. Next one is to brush up on French. I've been doing great at this because I'm using Duolingo and it has like very aggressive reminders, and it also has like a streak feature. So if you practice your French lessons, you know, each day in a row, you get a streak and you like don't want to break the streak. So I've been doing at least 1 lesson a day just so that I don't break the streak. And then the next one was to focus more on my poetry, to be reading and writing more poetry and sending out submissions more often. I have 2 full-length book manuscripts that I want to get published with major publishers. My goal had kind of been to be writing more, but also to make sure that I'm keeping up with submitting my poetry and my poetry book to hopefully get a book deal, get some more publications this year. Send good energy to my poetry manuscript, and maybe we'll get a book deal this year. I'm doing well on about half of these, and the other half I need to dedicate more time to. Also, obviously need to be compassionate with myself, knowing that I have a ton of things going on, but it's kind of just good to remind yourself of what your actual goals are so that you can be thinking about them, have them on your mind, and make sure that you're trying to do at least one thing every day to work towards them. Let me know in the comments what goals you had for this year and if you're still on track to meet them, what you need to do to get there, or if you're setting yourself new goals after the first quarter of the year. All right, I'm gonna jump into some work for the day and I will check in with you all in a little bit. Really wanted to make time to work on my website today and then just had the most hectic workday ever for my 9 to 5. So I honestly didn't get around to it and it is now time to make dinner. So maybe I will make some time after dinner, but if not, I'm just gonna make sure that it's very much in my plans for tomorrow. I'll probably try to wake up early just to get some time. I'll probably wake up early tomorrow just to get some time to do it since I didn't get a chance to today. So scheduling it in, setting the intention to do that so that I make sure it gets done tomorrow. But for now, I'm gonna start making some dinner. Now the next day and I have set aside some time to write the copy for my website. It's a big project. It's going to take more than 1 day, but I'm going to try to crank through as much as I can in the next like hour or so before I have to start my 9 to 5 for the day. Before I do that, I want to show you guys the mock-up for the homepage of my website. I'm so excited about this. The pictures are from the brand photo shoot that I did recently. It has a little blurb about what I do, my bio, my editing services, my ebook, testimonials from my clients, my poetry publications, and then a contact form at the bottom. I absolutely love how this is looking so far. I'm so excited about it. I especially love like the fonts and colors and everything that we chose to go with. That's like the outline for what the rest of the website structure is going to look like. So I've written the copy for the homepage, and now what I'm trying to crank out is all the copy that needs to go on the about, editing services, publications, blog, etc. So that is what I'm working on right now. Just brought me coffee because he's a sweetheart. Cheers. It is the next day now. I'm speaking quietly because my husband is still sleeping. I just did my morning routine, which is a very simple one. Essentially making my coffee and then sitting down to write in my planner. So I do like a list of priorities for the day in my planner and also look ahead for the rest of the week. And then I did my morning pages, which is basically a brain dump, journaling out all of your thoughts for 3 pages, writing longhand. And I've been doing that every morning pretty much for the entire year. And then I sat down to read, which is something that recently has kind of fallen off of my morning routine. And as I mentioned earlier when we were chatting about all my goals for the year, reading books that I'm interested in and reading for pleasure and not just reading for my business is something that I really wanted to do this year, and also focusing on poetry. So this morning after I was done with my writing, I just picked up a poetry book and read for just like 20-30 minutes. It doesn't have to be any like big, crazy, insurmountable goal. Kind of integrating those goals on the day-to-day basis just for 20 or 30 minutes makes a huge difference in the long run, because that means if I do that every day, I've read for 20 or 30 minutes every single day for a year. So this is all to say, make sure you're taking those big goals and trying to break them down into things that you can integrate into your day-to-day habits. So like if I were to say, you know, I want to focus more on poetry, but then I don't find time in my day-to-day where I can actually focus on poetry, like I don't set aside time to write, or I don't set aside time to read, at the end of the year I'm going to say, okay, I said I wanted to focus on poetry, but I didn't, because I didn't break down that larger goal into something that I could do on a daily or a weekly basis. We're starting Q2 and you're like, shoot, I didn't do anything I said I wanted to do in Q1. I didn't do any of the goals that I had set for myself. That might be a good next step for you, is to take those big goals and say, okay, how do I actually integrate this into my days so that by the end of the year, I've done something that has added up over 365 days, as opposed to just like wishing and hoping that something will happen. All right, I'm gonna head out to the gym now. I actually just finished all of the copy for my website, so I am so proud of myself for getting that out of the way, sent it over to the designers. So now I'm gonna head over to the gym and get in a full body workout session. a little yoga session, and now I'm gonna get started on doing some skincare and my makeup, and I thought we could do that together, and I'll chat with you about how this little getting back on track situation is going. I have definitely found it a little bit hard because the things that I want to focus on are not related to my 9-to-5 job, but my 9-to-5 job is definitely the thing that like demands the most time from me. I really like my job for sure. It's just a lot of my goals and intentions are kind of in other areas of my life right now. I'm trying to build on my own land, create something for myself, and that's just been my focus right now. So with getting back on track with that stuff, I definitely have found it a little frustrating whenever my work takes over, but that's like, you know, that's normal. I have to do my job, obviously. The biggest thing that I've noticed is really with the like reading and focusing on poetry and stuff like that. As soon as I started kind of resetting that intention and started reading some poetry, writing some poetry, I've just found that my creativity is flowing again, which just goes to show that if you just make time to do the things that are important to you, like they will happen, they will come back to you. Creativity is so important to me, but as like a type A person who tends to focus too much on achievement, my creativity can fall to the wayside. So I've noticed that just focusing on that a little bit more has been really, really helpful for me. I'm also just like really proud of myself for finishing all of the copywriting for my website, because now that's pretty much in the designer's hands, and all I'll be doing is like going back and forth with them and giving them notes and stuff on the designs. One other thing that I did that I like highly recommend is kind of digital detoxing. So much of what we put out into the world is determined by the stuff that we're consuming and the media that we're surrounding ourselves with. So I just went through my email inbox and cleaned it out, and I also unsubscribed from marketing emails that I don't really care for, and I also try to unfollow any accounts on social media that are not kind of positive inputs for my life. I'm truly trying to surround myself with media that's going to contribute to my goals and intentions. One major thing we got to do to wrap up Q1 is taxes. I am not looking forward to that, but I think my husband and I are going to be sitting down today to tackle our taxes, so fingers crossed for us that it's not super complicated. Is my Glossier Cloud Paint liquid blush is like so empty that I'm like trying to squeeze the last bits out of the bottom of it. I love this product so much. Definitely would order it again. I have it in the shade Dusk, which is this like peachy kind of pink that I think looks really nice on me. I asked on TikTok what blushes I should try, and everyone was saying the Rare Beauty ones, of course, and I've never tried those before, so I did order a Rare Beauty liquid blush that I'll be trying out, so I'll let you all know what I think of that one, probably in my next vlog, because I don't know when it's gonna get here. I don't know how quick Sephora ships. Okay, so I wanted to share with you all what I had written down for kind of my intentions for the second quarter of the year. Hustle less, aligned action more. Morning pages every day. Reading for pleasure and learning, consistent movement and exercise, lean into making and creating, spend time in nature, and show up intentionally online. They're not all like goals per se, it's just kind of like intentions for how I want to be showing up. I know it's not helpful for everybody, but for me, kind of having things like written down, writing out my ideas, my intentions, my goals is actually really helpful for me. I just believe that it's much easier to reach something, reach a goal, or to live a certain way, or to act on something if you have already been able to articulate what it is that you want to do. One of the other things I had mentioned was kind of surrounding yourself with positive influences, positive media, etc. And of course, I thought of vision boards, and I have a vision board that I kind of have ongoing on Pinterest, and I thought it would be nice to kind of revisit those images and continue visualizing like what I want my future to look like and stuff like that. So let me show you my vision board on Pinterest. So I think what I'm gonna do is take some of my favorite images and like recent images from this and think about those intentions that I wrote down and make myself a little like desktop background, which has a bunch of my vision board images in it. course, we had to finish off that vlog with a nice reset around the house. It was a little quick one, just kind of cleaning up surfaces, putting stuff away, vacuuming, etc. If you want to see a big full reset, go back to the last vlog, my spring reset, where I like truly deep cleaned the entire apartment, especially because I work from home and do like pretty much everything that I do from home. It's so important that my space around me is inspiring and clean and clear. I'm really one of those people that's like, when my space is clear, my mind is clear. I thought that would be a nice way to finish off this little end of Q1 going into Q2 video. I hope you enjoyed it and just found some inspiration from it. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much. Please do like the video and subscribe to my channel. I'm a tiny brand new channel, so that really does help me a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.